Hello, welcome back to Story Reckless. I'm Nathan. I'm the DM here, and I use he/him pronouns. And we are playing D&D. We are a live play. We are a live play live stream playing D&D in the Descent into Avernus campaign. And let's do some player intros.
I'm Claire. My pronouns are they, them. I'm still playing Kidom, half-elf grave cleric.
My name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns, and I am still playing Calliope, Air Genasi Artificer. I'm just doing it by the book. No extra words, except I just did. I'm kidding.
Hi, I'm Enyo, they, them, and I'll be playing Pip, a reckless alchemist satyr.
Definitely reckless. All right, awesome. Well, with that, let's do a quick recap and jump in. I'll try to be relatively quick. Here we go. So, last we left off, you all were still traveling across the Avernon landscape in search of a way to find this bleeding citadel or find a way to free Elturel from the clutches of Zariel and the plain of Avernus. You met Archon the Cruel, got offered a bargain, a deal. If you can go retrieve a celestial being from a device known as the Demon Zapper and bring it to him, he would be willing to put you in contact with Tiamat, the goddess of, I guess, evil dragons, I think is the classic way of describing her. So you set out towards the Demon Zapper using the strange mummified hand compass that was gifted to you all, and using Gargouth as a guide. You eventually came upon this massive device surrounded by a sea of black demon ichor, still writhing and twitching in parts. You saw strange, almost tree-like pustules growing up out of the ichor in the distance. And as you approached this infernal device, you could see that glowing ball of light being held within the pincers, almost like a massive beetle pincers rising up into the sky. And I believe it was one of you, was it Kadam, saw a movement on the little islet that this was on. Some humanoid shape crawling out of the muck, and in an instant, a flash of light and an arc of energy. There was a loud boom, thunderous boom, and that entity was no more. You took your machines across the thick ichor, up onto the islet, and saw this device before you. And as you approached, a dust devil formed, which quickly grew in intensity and formed into a humanoid shape in front of this device. You saw this feminine form take shape, huge feminine form, about 10 feet tall, massive thick arms and fists, wielding a huge maul, and their clothing seemed to apparate out of the soot and gravel and sand in this region, turning into kind of a flowing, almost dress-like shape, with jewelry forming all along the neckline and the arms and hands. And this individual asked you to state your business. You are not fiends. What are you doing here? And that is where we're going to pick up. So, thick with two C's. Thickor.
I also had the thought of Thickor.
Oh my god. If you fall into this ichor, oh boy. It will transform you.
That's a very different sort of live stream.
Yeah, it is.
Those madcaps were stacked.
Yeah. Anyways, so let us pick up here. I believe all of you have popped up out of your various hatches of the machines to reveal yourselves. And I don't know if anybody's actually spoken to this entity yet. They've just called out to you. So you see her floating there, maul in hand, her fists kind of gripping around the handle, scanning you all, seeing what you'll do.
Hello. My name's Lyra. We're here to rescue the Celestial who's trapped up there.
You see her eyes narrow. I'm afraid I won't be able to allow you to do that.
Oh.
Why do you need this being?
Well, it seemed like the right thing to do, you know?
Does this being want to be here?
I doubt
We
it very much.
we don't have a lot of details.
That's fair, actually. If they're happy here, well, we can reconsider maybe.
I doubt they want to be up there, but I am bound by duty to guard this place.
Duty, I see.
You want to be bound by duty to guard this place. Are you happy here?
Who's asking?
My name's
Who do you
Legend.
work for?
Well, ultimately, we're trying to return that big old city. I don't know. You might have seen it floating around. El Terrell got dragged down here to the house, chained. It's like slowly getting winched down. It's real bad. We're trying to get it back up to the material plane. And it's a circuitous, kind of like long story, but that's the ultimate goal here that we're trying to do.
How about, can you tell us who this Celestial is? Are you bound by duty to not give us information when freely asked?
I can give you that information. The Celestial trapped up there is a unicorn. Goes by the name Mooncolor. So, Zariel has dragged another city down here, eh?
Another?
I was not aware this happened in the past.
She's managed to do it once before. Where exactly are you from?
The material plane.
Right, but where within the material plane? It's quite a big place.
Coral?
Toral. I don't believe the previous city was taken from your world. So you wish to return your city to go against Zariel?
Yeah, that about sums it up.
I could give you this being freely if I was allowed to leave this place. I'm trapped here. I'm trapped here by her.
Ah.
I see.
But if you try to take the being up there before I am broken free, I will be forced to try to kill you. I will be forced to try and stop you.
Yeah.
I don't suppose a quick banishment would work? You ain't from Avernus, are you?
I'm not, but I suspect that an archdevil's magic would find a way around that.
Yeah, probably.
Are there any, like, terms of you being stuck here?
Yeah, what are the details? Do you
Do you
have...
have a contract?
No, I was working with Zariel, and I displeased her greatly. I broke my end of the deal and was bound here. There may be a way to get me out. You would have to find this information, as I can't leave this place. I know of one individual here on this plane that might be able to help. She goes by the name Red Ruth.
I knew it was going to be Red Ruth.
All right.
So you've been here for a bit of time now, picking up on some key players.
We met a cousin of hers earlier.
If you go to her, she may be able to find a way to break me out. And then I would happily give you this here being.
And what is your name? Or what you would like us to call you?
She sort of relaxes a little, takes her maul and slams it into the dust next to her. I am Razala, great Tao of the plane of Earth.
Nice to meet you.
So, is this going to be a fight? And she takes her hand and kind of raises it, and you watch as the earth and stone next to her starts to form and turns into another hulking humanoid shape, but made entirely of craggy stone as an earth elemental forms next to her.
Please hold. Give us a second. Okay, huddle up.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. And she
That's fine.
sort of leans back, pressing her back into the dark iron shape of the demon zapper maul at her side.
Oh, okay, we were
I
gonna
don't want
maybe...
to fight her.
Yeah. I mean, I think the wrecking ball might do some good work on her. So it's an option. I bet we could do it.
Right, I'm sure that we could, because... But that's not the point. The point is, there's an option here to break, to free somebody of a curse and to help a unicorn, and we don't have to do it with fighting anybody, and this seems like exactly the kind of thing for all of us. Even though I would like to see that wrecking ball in action, not on us.
Maybe we can, knock the tower down or something after we're done with it.
Okay, good. And just looks to Kadam like...
I mean, we were gonna maybe go talk to Red Ruth anyway. She's got more information, maybe. I don't love it. We are on a time crunch here.
That's the thing. We don't... Well... On the one hand, I think we should be careful and, take our time when necessary and be... I'd rather get through this than rush it and end up dead, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But... it would be faster.
And if we beat her, that probably does the trick too and banishes her, don't it? So, I mean, it's kind of just doing her a favor.
This is weird. This feels like a switch.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's...
might be able to make her not a threat.
Yeah.
It would be a gamble, of course.
What you got in mind?
Well, I mean, I offered her a banishment. That would get rid of her for at least a minute. I don't know that would be enough time to actually get the unicorn? Ain't they mythical creatures? I thought unicorns weren't real.
People sell an awful lot of horns.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think they were real either.
I hadn't really ever thought about it.
Just, excuse me, what was your name? Razala? Are there any defenses in the tower?
She just looks at you.
We have to do like some serious cost management here. Okay, we're just trying to. It was worth a try. Look, it would help us make a decision.
I mean, I'm not against going and finding Red Ruth and doing that this way. Like, I mean, maybe we could skip this whole Tiamat situation entirely. If she knows the location herself. Or can
Excuse
find
me,
it.
Rosala, do you happen to actually know where Tiamat is, just in case?
Tiamat?
Tiamat?
We're looking for the palace.
Also, Pip, you were at the entrance to Tiamat's lair. You and Yo were not, but Pip was.
Oh, Pip was.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
We know
sorry.
where
Sorry.
she is. We just
Yeah.
don't
We just
have the
wanna-
clout.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, we're looking for the Citadel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to ask about the Citadel then.
yeah, doesn't hurt.
At this point, I feel like we're just asking whoever. Somebody's got to know.
Yeah, if she is working for Zariel, though, maybe we don't want to like broadcast where we're going.
Sari already knows what's happening.
Yeah, that's
She
Doesn't
has an
Zariel know it?
idea. I don't think she knows. Oh no, that 24 hours casting time. That's ridiculous.
For what?
Hallow. It's not relevant.
Okay.
You all see her kind of tensing up again the longer you discuss,
Yeah.
and she just kind of gives a slight head nod, and the earth elemental starts to sort of arc out to get into kind of an angle so that they're both sort of spread apart but facing you still, and the earth elemental just kind of slowly.
I think we should just go find Red Ruth. Should we put it to a vote?
If it's time, how long? What can it possibly take to get to Red Ruth?
Days, which is 10 days. We've already been gone like 6 or 7, 10 days.
Yeah. Hey, Rosala, do you know where Red Ruth is? It'd help us if we could just, like, pop over there.
She resides within the bone brambles. If you have a guide, you may be able to find it quicker.
Pulls Gargouth out of the backpack this time, not the boot anymore. She's like, all right, you heard that? Bron Brambles.
Yes, I know of Red Ruth. She's been here for quite some time. I'd be happy to guide you there, Pip.
Okay. Just kind of holding it up, looking at Kadam like, how long do you think it would take?
It really.
Gargoyle?
Gargoyle.
Yeah.
Well, as you've seen, it entirely depends on this plane. Nothing is set in stone.
You're not attuned to some kind of like devil sight global positioning system, planar positioning system or anything? You can't just map us there?
I can sense where it is.
All right.
It's the
Okay,
best you're
good
gonna
enough for me.
get. Unless you have some sort of teleportation or, I don't know, a plane shift. That might get you there quicker.
I'll call over to Rosala. Can we speak to Mooncolor?
You could certainly try. I don't suspect that they hear much up there. And you look up and it's like this blinding light just kind of emanating out.
Pip, you have any of those flying potions left over?
I do.
May I have one?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. So I will chug that and start slowly flying out.
Okay. Yeah. You start to slowly drift up towards the orb. You see Razala does stand and, well, sort of stand. She has this like swirling, dust devil where her legs would be. But she does sort of straighten up and pull her maul out at the ready and just keeps an eye on you, watching, glances down at all of you, back up at Kadam as they continue to float up, and Razala starts to levitate up to sort of match you, Kadam. But they back away just a touch, giving you some space and just kind of keeping an eye on you, keeping an eye on the rest below. She does give another little nod of her head as the earth elemental gets a little closer to all of you. It's probably about 15 feet away from the vehicles at this point, just staring you all down. And Kadam, you gently float over towards the orb. How close do you want to get to the orb?
As close as it feels comfortable to. I know it's bright, but like, is it hot?
No, you approach the orb. Yeah, you approach the orb, and there's not really heat coming off of it. There's definitely a like intense tingling sensation that starts to like course through your body the closer you get to it, and there's this hum in the air as you get closer to it. This and the light is very bright. It is quite challenging to look at, but you can see what looks to be like some sort of shape in there that is moving. Kind of, it's, you can make a perception check to see if you can make out any details.
No.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 2, so that's what, 7?
Okay, yeah, no, it's the light is bright enough that it's like almost making your eyes water, like squinting at it. But yeah, what do? You can get just about right up to it.
If I put my hand on the sphere, what do I feel?
I will find out.
I think Calliope mutters to Pip, it's like, wherever we go, there's just like these big glowing orbs in the sky. Sources of power. Hard to go wrong with them, but also, it's weird. It's happened, 3 times now?
Orbs do love their power.
Yeah.
4 if you count the sun! I shut it down.
You think if you just get big enough, you get the power?
Yeah, maybe. Like, what if we just got like, I don't know, a big bonfire inside of like some sort of large glass thing? Maybe it would like be self-sustaining and like the heat in it would like make some sort of feedback loop. Interesting.
Kadam, your hand reaches out and you feel that tingling sensation getting quite extreme, but your hand presses into it and stops. It's like pressing into almost steel. It's hard to explain. It does not move. Like, there's no give to it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is that like electrical charge just coursing through your hand as your hand is pressing on it. Yeah.
I'm going to cast Sending to Mooncolor.
Okay. What do you say to Mooncolor?
That's a great question. I hadn't thought that far ahead. I think I'm making. Well, maybe I'll make connection with the spell. I try and make connection with the spell, and then there's just kind of a bit of silence.
Uh-huh.
Hi, my name is Lyra. If you would like to get out, we would like to help you out. It might be a bit of time, but I wanted to give you some hope.
Okay. Spell releases. You see, I probably through your squinting eyes, you can tell there's like a sudden amount of movement within the sphere. And a voice comes through. The voice is rich and smooth and kind of deep as it washes through your mind, and it almost without your own will, it almost kind of calms you hearing it. It's a strange sensation. Thank you. I would very much like to leave this place. I sense a divine connection within you. I know you'll help me. And the message ends. What would you like to do next? Any of you?
Earth elementals aren't meant to fly. It's just not right. Looking up at Rizala.
But you think if she got really spherical and like really big, then she would become more powerful? I think this entire time they've just been talking about like powerful spheres.
And just kind of by virtue of size, she could just like roll over and like knock things over. That's power. Just in of itself.
I'm gonna descend.
Okay. Ralzala will float down with you until eventually you get back to the vehicles. Okay.
What'd the unicorn say? What'd Moon Color say?
They would very much like to leave. If you all want to find Red Ruth, I'm willing to do that.
I mean, what's the alternative? Beat Rizala here, get Moon Color out, and go hand Moon Color over to Tiamat? Yeah. I don't know, I was kind of hoping it'd be just like some sort of entity-less ball of energy, and like that would be the end of it. If it's a person, it's a lot harder for me to close my eyes to.
I've never met anyone who weren't a person.
Man, is the companion a person? I was hoping it'd be that kind of situation.
It's a little weird that it's called the companion then if you don't consider it a person.
I have had to sit through too many sermons on that topic about the entityhood of the companion. It's like it's a proxy, and therefore it's kind of like its own character, but it's also inanimate. It doesn't like talk directly. So it's a lot like a god. If a god didn't talk, but was also hanging out, and you could just like see it every day. Wow, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, like the sun.
Yeah, but like closer.
Okay.
Proximity It feels like it changes a lot. And you can go up. Anyway, let's go find Red Reef, huh? Time is a waste.
Yeah, you can tell me about it on the ride.
Okay. So,
Rosala, please make your acquaintance. Hopefully, we'll be seeing each other again shortly.
she nods her head and watches as you all pile into the vehicles and take off back across the Icker, pulling out the hand and focusing on the bone brambles. You watch as it points. As you leave, Pip, you hear where actually first let me ask you this. Where do you keep the map?
I have a map.
I believe you had the map of Avernus.
In character.
Yeah. Okay, where would Pip keep a map that she forgot about?
It's in her boot.
Okay, well, then never mind. Okay, so you continue on. Going out across the Icker in the direction of the bone brambles. What else is in those boots? It's just
Okay, look,
lost
it's been a
forever.
long time since. If you can lose a shield in a boot,
Yeah.
that map had no chance.
And if Pip ever dies, Kudam is absolutely going to turn those boots inside out before resurrecting her. Just to see.
Yeah.
Well, what's worse that can be in there? Like decapitated heads?
My heads
totally-
are very tidy, thank you.
Oh my god. You should totally just come up with a list of like innocuous things, like things that don't have any mechanical value, to put in your boots so that if that ever happens, you can surprise us.
I would love to. But yeah, I think Pip definitely doesn't know about the map, but while pulling Gargouth, Pip pulls Gargouth out and like attaches him right underneath the sort of mummified hand, like it's a compass.
Yeah. Awesome. So the shield sitting there. Which vehicle are you in, Pip? Are you in the Demon Grinder with Calliope or in the Tormentor with Kadam?
I think Pip is in the Demon Grinder because we were talking about like trying to create some sort of vacuum system anytime we grind a demon.
Oh, also it makes sense if you're in the Demon Grinder because that's going to be the vehicle in the lead. So if you're leading, that makes sense. Great. Okay. Awesome. So who rolled last time? Was it... okay, it was Kadam. So, Pip, why don't you roll this time because you're next on my screen here.
D20 or?
No, roll 2d10 first.
Okay.
So you got a 2 and a 9. Let me check
Yeah.
something.
Very symmetric.
Okay, great. Go ahead and roll 2d12. 2. Is that right? Did you roll 2, 1? Oh, no, that's 1d12. Oh, you rolled a 10 and a 2. Okay, 12. 12.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okie doke. All right. And then, final thing for you to roll for me, if you could roll just roll a d20 for me. 17.
I'm keeping afraid that this is like number of hours or something. There's some sort of Rube Goldberg machine of random tables that Nathan goes through every time.
There's some really complicated tables. I have seen them.
Yeah. Go.
How would you construct a big power ball in the sky? Like you were gonna do it.
Hold on, I'm just checking something.
Demon Ichor seems pretty powerful. I bet that we could use Demon Ichor to continuously power something that just becomes self-sustaining.
Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Like a Demon Ichor attractor. Ooh.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Great. It never feels good rolling a 1, no matter what it is.
So, you all have been, I believe I checked my notes, you've been traveling for about 10 hours this day, so probably about 2 more hours left of travel time before you'll need to settle down again for the day, unless you want
I
to
swear,
push.
we should start a system of just like rotating drivers because these machines can just keep going, huh?
You want to try that?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Who wants to stay up?
Take the wheel?
I would say, yeah,
Did I hear that?
we could probably... Yeah, I could see that working almost like whoever's on watch. You'll need 2 people to take watch, right? Each time can do the driving. And I would say that...
You're not going to say it about Big Dummy?
I guess you could just make normal perception rolls, but I'd say the downside to doing this... So you can totally do this. Downside to doing this, you are driving around out in the open, and the rest of your companions are asleep while this is happening. So if something pops up, there will be that little time of like your companions being asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the same as if we were camped.
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair. Okay, so continue driving for a number of hours here. Just gonna do something really quick.
And there's enough, I think, room for Big Dummy to just be out on the demon grinder and being just like a constant lookout. Like this is kind of what Big Dummy was kind of made for.
Okay, great. Do any of you you guys start driving, and as the hours start to go by, 2 hours pass, and you make this arrangement, and you start to bed down in your respective vehicles as the first 2 people take the first watch/drive. Who's going to be the drivers for the first watch?
Valor.
Valor? Okay, so Valor's in the Tormentor. Who's in the Demon Grinder driving on this first watch?
You want to take it, Pip?
Yeah. You look tired. You want to take a nap or something?
Sure do. Here, we don't even need to stop. Just keep your foot. Put your foot down on the wheel, and I'll kind of like shimmy out.
Hold on. Aren't you wearing my boots? Oh no, you're not wearing my boots.
No,
I just took
extenders.
my struts out. Yeah, my extenders, right. I'm like, these look familiar. Okay. Yeah. Pip is taking the wheel.
And I think Calliope takes to like just sleeping in the cab really naturally.
Cool.
She's just like out.
Awesome. I do realize though you don't have enough companions to do 3 watches, so there'll be some kind of like, I would say
we'll have what, 6 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how this would work. I would say it would probably be like, you probably all will need to make whoever takes the 3rd watch, you're not gonna really get like a full rest. Oh, I see what you could just like, yeah, you know what? It's fine. We'll make it work. It's gonna work. It's fine. I'm not gonna get.
Little Dummy could drive for a while.
I thought it was so funny.
With Gilder operating the pedals down below. Gilder's way too small to operate those pedals. All right.
With an elaborate system of levers, and with 2 artificers, I think we could make an elaborate system of levers to get the proper leverage.
So Pip, you're in the lead and you're driving off. Go ahead and make a perception roll for me as you continue across the wasteland.
I don't know if I've mentioned it, but Big Dummy has passive perception 18.
Oh, so why don't you roll perception for Big Dummy as well?
Okay.
22 for Pip. Amazing.
Yeah.
So that's +8 for Big Dummy. 18.
18. Nice. Okay. Um, about 2 hours into your watch, as you're driving Pip, Valor in the back, you spot it first. Far off to your right side, you see like a collection of red boulders that are kind of twisting up into the sky, about 40 feet, and resting atop the like spire of these twisted red boulders, you see what looks to be like a seated humanoid shape just sitting up there.
Is there any kind of telescope or just any scope on this vehicle I can use to look at it closer?
No, I don't think the vehicle is not equipped with anything like that. But if you have anything or any of your companions do, I'm not sure. But yeah, the vehicle doesn't have any sort of optics.
I looked at
Okay.
getting one, but it was like 1,000 gold for a looking glass. It's wild.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is dumb. I'm gonna just make a looking glass. I can make my own looking glass for 1,000 gold. Are you kidding me?
But yeah, you see this figure sitting there. Probably, at this distance, they're, I don't know, like a couple football fields away, if that makes sense to you in terms of length.
Is there anything kind of off to the opposite side? Anything obvious? I think Pip is gonna just kind of take the long way around.
Okay, yeah, sure. You start to carve the vehicle away from this figure. No problem. You arc away. Valor follows. A moment later, there's like a tapping on the hatch, and you can tell it's Big Dummy, kind of like. Kung, kung, kung.
Okay. Yeah, what's it, big fella?
As you poke your head out, you see Big Dummy kind of swivel around, and with its like scorpion tail, sort of points in the direction of the figure that's sitting there.
Calliope, I can't talk to your homunculus. What does that mean? Does that mean that that's a bad thing?
Probably. Without looking.
Okay, Big Dummy. 1 tap for keep doing what you're doing. We're going the long way around. 2 taps for it's going to attack us imminently. 3 for something else.
Big Dummy sort of looks back at you and then just gives 1 solid tap and then swivels back to look at the figure sitting up on the rock.
All right, keep an eye. Do you have eyes? Eye on it. Okay, I think.
Okay.
I'll wake you up if anything else happens.
Continue driving past this figure, and you're able to kind of curve away from the figure, and eventually that figure just disappears out of sight.
Avernus is no problem. You just stay away from things.
Can you roll a d6 for me?
Oh god, is this gonna hurt me? 5.
Okay. Roll one more time. Roll 2d12 for me.
19.
Okay, great.
That's high.
Let me make a note. Great. You continue driving along. And your time eventually passes without issue.
Pip is just like really enjoying kind of being an Avernus trucker.
Amazing.
I think when Calliope wakes up, she's gonna be like, I have an idea. Okay, I think I know what's broken on the Tormentor. I think I can figure it out.
Okay. Yeah.
I need some time. I think we can get it going faster again.
All
Do
right.
you want?
Oliver?
We need to stop for it. Okay. Fine.
Yeah. It'll take a little bit.
You do as you come to a stop. I would say. So you gonna pull over to work on the Tormentor?
Yeah, I want to spend another hour to repair it, essentially.
All right, perfect. Yeah. Also, I would say that this is kind of a good time too. That roughly your fuel is starting to get low, and you'll need to use another flask or a soul coin. So yeah, you all pull over, and this I guess will be Kadam and Calliope's turn. But the first hour is spent with Calliope scrambling over to the Tormentor and starting to work on it. What was, I forget, exhaustion was...
It's at 2 currently.
It's at 2, and it's the intelligence roll. So you can make the intelligence roll with the proficiency.
Yeah, I can never remember what it is, but it's something wild.
It is an incredibly high roll.
You're just going to add plus 10 to it, because that seems about right. I don't know, it might have been higher.
13.
It's,
It was
I
plus
think it's
13?
a 13, yeah, because it's...
5 plus 4 plus 4.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
20.
can't roll above a 7, but that's enough to get us up to 20.
Yes, you repair another level of exhaustion, which brings you to just disadvantage on ability checks.
And so it can now
Travel at
go
full speed.
faster. It's like the third wheel on the shopping cart, like not cooperating. It's finally cooperating.
Amazing. So as Calliope scrambles...
Thank you, Calliope.
Scrambling over the Tormentor, eventually it is fixed up, and yeah, the like axles have been straightened and the wheel is repaired so that it's no longer wobbling, and now the Tormentor can travel at full speed. You know what? I'll give you... No. Okay. Anyways, so you continue off. I guess both of you make perception rolls as you set off for this next leg of the journey.
Who's both of
13.
you?
13, okay.
And this is for me.
Yeah, you are in separate vehicles, so you can't really give each other advantage. So.
And this is me, not Big Dummy.
Oh, you can use Big Dummy, yeah, totally.
I'll use Big Dummy.
Yeah. Big Dummy is your
15.
sentry. 15, okay, cool. 13, 15. Great. Continuing to press on, you watch as some clouds far off in front of you, kind of moving off to the right, seem to be forming, and you see very faintly in the distance this sort of like hazy, sort of sickly yellow haze kind of forming below these clouds, and you can kind of tell it looks like a rain of some sort, but these like billowing thick deep brownish yellow clouds are just kind of roiling on the distance and moving at a pretty good clip off to the right, with this yellowish haze kind of cascading down below them. Thankfully, the hand twitches in a direction that starts to lead you away from whatever this storm may be. You continue pressing on for another few hours here. At one point, once again, far off in the distance, you see flashes of light far off in the distance, miles away, sort of. And probably both of you can just barely make out the kind of low, bassy sounds of what almost sound like explosions. And you periodically see things sort of rocketing up into the air in that far distant battle. And at one point you kind of come up onto like a crest of a hill before you go back down, and as you look in that direction you can see the writhing masses of two forces that are colliding with each other, with splashes of light bursting within the crowds.
They must get so tired, I guess Calliope says to herself, because Pip's asleep.
Yeah. And indeed, you can see that in that direction, the ever-present, well, not ever-present, but the kind of like winding, strange river Styx has appeared once again, and it's kind of winding at the backside of one of these forces that seem to be pouring out of the river itself. And yeah, you continue moving on as the hand twitches and points in another direction. Your 3 hour stretch, because you spent an hour working, 3 more hours driving, comes to an end.
We're going twice as fast now, so that's time well spent.
And you now have 2 hours left to get to your destination. I guess I just gave it away, but oh well.
Can we? Sorry.
Yeah.
Spend those flasks.
Oh
for
yes,
her?
please.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Roll 2 d20s for me for each vehicle as you.
I'll
spend
roll
the
mine.
flasks.
You roll yours.
Okay.
19.
19. You're fine.
5.
5. Calliope, you pour yours into the demon grinder, and there's a moment as you hear it kind of burble and gurgle within.
I know. We've been working
And
hard.
The vehicle kind of shudders. And there's a sudden sort of. And the vehicle continues to.
We'll get you some
purr.
fresh demons at some point.
But it seemed that was a bit of that one. It didn't quite go down so smooth. But yeah, seems like the fuel took. Go ahead and mark off those 2 flasks, and you, Kadam, and Calliope can settle down for your last little leg of sleep here as Valor and Pip take on the driving once more.
I'm going to be in the back praying some more, I think.
Okay. Calliope, could you roll a d20 for me again?
I'd love to. That's a 6.
Okay. Great. Continue driving on. Pip and Valor leading the way. Pip, 2 hours pass, and you start to see a landmark that is kind of new and unique in this landscape. You haven't seen anything like this. You start to see approaching on the horizon as you kind of dip down into what almost appears like kind of a slight sunken valley. Down in this valley, there is like a massive tangle of briar. This thick, like bone white, like bleached bones, twisting, gnarled knot of thorns and branches and twigs just kind of curling in on themselves. The closer and closer you get to it, you start to see that there are like splashes of red throughout the white bony briar, and you can see that there is calcified corpses that are merged in with the bone-like vines and roots and thorns, just kind of sort of pressed into these twisting vines and trees. There's these odd fungal pods that are also this sort of bone white color that are bulging out of the sides of some of these twisted trees, and they seem to be concentrated around areas where the undergrowth itself is oozing a thick viscous blood that's just onto the like into the briar itself. And this briar is so thick that you essentially only see the outer shell. Like you try to pierce in to see deeper within, and it immediately becomes like almost like a static of mess of briar and vines and roots and twisted wood.
What a lovely place.
Why does Avernus exist? Why is this a place? Does it have to be this way?
But as you approach this landmark, you can see there's a couple of pockets throughout where it looks like very narrow paths that wend their way deeper into this wood.
Hey, Gargoth, what's the deal with these brambles? Like, what are the dangers here?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I just know that Red Ruth resides within here.
Oh my god, all you know is...
I never went and visited her myself, and I never bothered to find out about this place. I got you here,
just hold
didn't
you
I?
in front. Right, whatever. Yeah, you're a compass, and you're a gong, and you cast fireball. We don't need to have this kind of relationship. It's okay. I'll just hold you in front, and if the brambles do end up being acidic or attacking anything, you can just take the brunt of it. That's what you're for. You're a shield.
That's right.
All right. This is great. I'm going to wake everybody up, and we're going to go.
Why don't you go out in front? Lead the charge.
Are you trying to get me killed?
No.
What, do you think I'm that stupid? No, of course. Valor's going to go front because she's a tank. Mm-hmm. I do feel a little bit bad about it. Maybe I should go first.
I think so too. Just look at her poor face. Also, don't you want to impress her?
I do want to impress her. And I'm not going to impress her by dying in front of her. All right.
But you would impress her by being out in front, leading the way with confidence. With me at your side. Well, in front of you.
Oh, you make such a delightful, sneaky little Grand Vizier, don't you?
I'm just saying, if you want to work on your sexy sword fighting, this is a good way to do it.
Well, now you sound like a teen magazine telling me what to do.
I do have quizzes.
Do you?
Well, sure. I can tell you what type of person you are. Who would be the best match for you?
I can't believe that I spent 10 hours in this car and you haven't taken one of your cool little quizzes.
Well, you never asked.
I'm sorry, I've just been seeing you as
a compass, I know. An object.
Well, I'm going to introspect on that some other time. All right, and unhooks Gargoth as a compass.
Okay. Oh my god. All right, you unhook and climb out. Calliope and Kadam, you still haven't quite got... All right, let's see. Yeah, you would have probably gotten more or less a full rest. Pip and Valor, though, since you had to kind of break this up into two segments, if you want to get the full rest, you will need to take a couple hours here resting before you get the benefits of a full rest.
I think we were all full still.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Valor's at 100%.
Okay, great. So yeah, mechanically speaking, Kadam and Calliope, you can mark off you took a full rest, and if there's anything you're missing, you can, clear that. But Pip and Valor, not so. All right. So, what do you all do as you stand here on the outside of this tangled mess of wood, vines, and roots?
All right, what do we know? Red Ruth is a diviner?
Yep.
Cousin of Mad Maggie's. Do we know their relationship? Pip, do you think you can work out a little bit of pit magic?
Yeah, I think I can. Maggie seemed to be on good terms with Ruth.
I'm gonna just make a prediction here, and it's not one I like, I bet Red Ruth is going to want something that we need to go and do something else for first
That's
to get
what I'm
the
afraid
stuff
of.
that we want. How deep is this rabbit hole going to go, my friends?
Okay, no. Here, well, we are going to go in there and we are going to get maybe, well, all favors, but we're not going to go and get something for her. That is the line. This is where the line is drawn, and we are going to focus on our charisma and our connections in order to get what it is that we need right now. This is the prediction I'm going to make.
Got it. What about you, Lyra?
I like. Shoot, I've forgotten my friend here's name. We have Legend, and we have
Yes.
Nettle, and we have
Verity.
Verity. Thank you so much. I like Verity's prediction. And besides, her name's Verity, so it's true.
I mean, we got a couple soul coins. I don't know. This could just be like a transactional thing, maybe.
Maybe. Let's give it a try. Also, being straightforward has still been working for us decently well so far.
Yeah,
Should we try that here?
I guess so.
I want to lie so bad, though. No, yes, let's go. Let's just be straightforward.
Okay. Do you think I should be in, Gremlin mode?
Just to be safe, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, in full view of this briar, gonna go get my little pieces of tinfoil and gonna crawl in, and then crawling out comes a spined devil with tattered wings.
Amazing. Okay. All right. So, what's the plan? You're all gonna head into the briar, into one of these paths?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna shout out maybe 100 yards in. Hello, we're looking for Red Ruth. We'd like to speak to her, please.
Okay. You all press into this briar and go about 100 yards in. It immediately, as you start to enter into this place, becomes very dark as the ambient light of Avernus is blotted out from the thick briar around you. You can hear the perpetual drips of fluid splashing on wood and dirt around you. As you walk past the various twisted vines and roots, you periodically see those calcified bodies just arching out of the wood, unmoving, locked in a horrific scream. And Kadam, as you get deep within this place, you call out and shout that. You hear the sound of wood kind of moaning and creaking around you. Continuous drips of liquid. Moments go by and there's no response. And you see the paths twisting out before you, going deeper into this place. If you all are trying to seek Red Ruth within, Gargouth will tell you, Pip, I believe her lair is at the center of this place. That is where you'll find her.
Great, just get to the center. We're
Okay.
not.
Okay, I'm gonna
Maybe-
have Big Dummy out.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that the lance can do is shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for another 30 feet.
Great. So
I think, as it starts getting dark, Clive's like, hold up, I'm gonna get... And, unfolds Big Dummy, gets some Big Dummy, and, hits it a couple times, and, this light kind of, flickers, goes off, and then, just bursts out. Okay, that should do it.
And Calliope, the light is, very reminiscent of the companion's light. To all of you, it's like sunlight. It doesn't have, mechanically speaking, it is not sunlight, but it is that quality of light that radiates out from Big Dummy and immediately illuminates the space, and you see probably half a dozen faces in the wood all
Don't like that.
surrounding you within this tight little winding path that you are in. I need all of you to do a group survival roll to see if you can find your way through this maze into the center. I will, since there's... Here's a question for the group. We could just do the PCs here, but we could also include Valor and Lulu in this.
And so it's an average sort of situation?
Yes.
I could use some help. I'm gonna
right.
be bringing the GPA.
Let's do
down.
everybody since you have these
Okay.
traveling companions. So Valor can roll and
How about Gargath?
not Gargath, and Lulu will roll as well. Let me get.
I rolled a
Lulu's-
10.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Great roll.
Lulu will do survival. Okay. All right. So what do we got here? We got a 10 from
Or
Calliope.
11 total.
11 from Calliope. What about you, Pip?
17.
17. Kadam.
8,
Okay. Valor.
4.
Wow. Okay. And then Lulu got a dirty 20. Okay. Alrighty.
Is
I am
Lulu's the one-
distracted.
Yeah, definitely. You press on deeper into this place, passing by the strange faces staring back at you, hearing that continual drip. Every once in a while, some of you feel a splash of wet on your cheek and wipe it away to see red on your fingers. You see sort of pulsing pustules of fungus clinging to the branches around you, where there is heavy weeping of blood coming out of the branches. You end up, the deeper you get, the more and more branching pathways there are, continuing to split and split and split, and you try your best to try and angle yourselves to what you imagine to be the center is, trying to hold on to that almost true north of the center. Following this path, you come around a corner and find yourselves at a big kind of oblong dead end. There's these sort of bulges of bramble pressing out into this section. You can see the faces of multitudes of creatures pressing out in your direction as you come to this dead end.
Have we seen any indication of creatures in here? Birds, insects?
Make a survival roll. You could do a perception roll. Make a perception roll.
Well, it really don't matter for me. Good grief. 11.
11. There's definitely been the sound of like wood creaking and moaning and shifting.
Mhm.
There's been no sound of birds. Let me see. There has been the sound of insects, or at least whatever the equivalent is here for a Vernon fauna. There has been the kind of periodic of buzzing wings. And there has been a couple moments when you felt like a little pinch and a bite on like the back of your neck or the exposed skin, and as you swat it away, you see some little dark insect-like shape buzz away. In fact, at this moment, Kadam, you feel a little pinch on your neck as one of these creatures alights on you and takes a little nip.
Can I try and catch it?
Yeah, make a dex. Yeah, I would say an athletics or acrobatics check. We'll call it that.
Well, they're the same.
There
So
you go.
2.
2. No, you go to try to catch it, and it flits away. And as you reach your hand out to try and grab it, just beyond your focus of vision, you see something shift and move in the brambles. As your eyes focus back towards that, you see one of these bulging lumps of bramble with the faces all pressing out, it suddenly shifts and twists, and 4 different heads all connected to like one thick trunk kind of twist and look in your direction, and you can see this mass of bone white vines, roots, and brambles all start to coagulate and move and writhe and look in your direction. As that is happening, Calliope and Pip, you hear more snapping of twigs and movement and creaking, and see 2 more of these bulges peeling out from the brambled walls as 3 of these strange plant-like creatures emerge. And we got 20 minutes left. We can try and do a round here and see what happens. Let me get us set up here for this. This is going to be real tight. This is a very tight map.
Calliope's not good at tight maps.
Yeah, it
she
is.
Needs to be far away for her lance.
This is a claustrophobic place that you find yourselves in.
Excellent.
Just, I know we didn't establish marching order, but who would have been out in front?
By the sound of it, Valor or Pip?
Pip, did you insist on being in front, or are you gonna have Valor be out in the front?
You're muted.
I thought maybe Calliope would have been, because Calliope has the lance with the torch. I mean, with the light, right?
I
That's
don't
up to-
necessarily
up to-
need to be in the front for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that Pip probably. Yeah, you know what? Let's just say Pip insisted on walking side by side with Valor.
Okay, so the 2 of you out front, and Kadam and Calliope in the back. And yeah, it is this is an incredibly tight space that you find yourselves in. I don't think I communicated quite how narrow these winding paths were. They're probably, like a little bit more than a person wide, as you're trying to press your way deeper into here. I'm almost ready for us. If you all want to start a rolling initiative to have your numbers ready. Wow, this is wild. I don't know how they expect people to fight on this map. This map is crazy. Okay. Oh my god. We're gonna see what happens here. Okay, let me get my I'm gonna move you all to the map here in just a second. Where's my turn order? Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna roll for these guys. Wow, they rolled like garbage.
Join the club.
All right, let me move y'all to the map, and then then we'll do some initiative rolls.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, incredibly tight. Okay, so what do we got here? Let's start with Calliope. What did you get?
8.
8. Okay. And then we got Pip.
9.
Wow, y'all, these are some low rolls, but thankfully they rolled really low. Kidam?
18, weirdly enough.
That bug woke you up.
And Valor.
21.
21.
Nice.
Oh man.
Standard Valor.
This is gonna be a fight. Okay. Wow. Hey, Claire, you were asking earlier today for a big fight, and here we go. So, kicking us off, we have Valor.
Whack whack.
Okay.
The nearest one.
Yeah. As these twisting, writhing mounds of briar and calcified bodies all emerge and go towards you all. Valor brings her glaive up and go ahead.
18.
Yeah, that hits.
15 points of slashing damage.
Okay, oh, let me check the stats on these guys. It is with a magical weapon. Okay, great. Yeah, so slashes through. 15. Okay.
Yep. 28. Nope.
Yep.
24.
Yep.
11 points.
Okay. 2 big carves into the one in front of her. Pieces of wood start to fall off, but this thing is a huge amount of twisting vines and roots. Okay, is that it for Valor?
Yeah, I think she's gonna stay there.
Okay.
As a note, it looks like you haven't sent the stream over to the battle map.
Oh, thank you. There we go. Okay, Kadam.
I'm gonna cast Blot on the one in front of me.
Nice. Okay, it makes a con
It
save.
makes a con save at disadvantage because I assume it is a plant.
Yes, it is a plant.
All right.
Amazing.
That's a 5.
Yeah, that ain't enough.
How often do you fight plants? This is incredible.
Yeah,
You were ready with that.
it is a plant.
$33 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh, nice. So, yeah.
Oh, sorry. The spell deals maximum damage to it.
So,
So 8 times 6. 48 points of necrotic damage.
8 times 6 or 8 times 8?
is it
8 times 8. I'm sorry, I misread that.
8 times 8?
56.
56 points of necrotic damage?
Oh my God.
Goodness. So you watch as like a third of this mound in front of Kadam just turns to ash, and a series of those calcified bodies just into ash and fall onto the ground. I'm not going to mechanically have this affect anything, but kind of like goes up into the air and creates this really eerie environment, even more eerie environment than you're in, because there's this like cloud of ash in the air that sort of lightly obscures everything from a large portion of this plant monster just disintegrating as Kadam grabs onto them.
I see. All right. Yep. Okay.
Anything else for you, Kadam?
Nope, that's my turn.
How are you
All right.
at keeping houseplants? Just, is this
You know-
indicative of a larger pattern?
You ain't wrong.
Lulu. I mean, I think Lulu is going to dash forward and just. I think she's gonna use her sparkles because this feels like a time for it. So. Yeah, she will fly over, I think above you, Kadam, and she's just gonna kind of angle the cone. I don't think she can hit 2 without hitting. Oh wait, she could fly over Pip there and then angle it to hit those 2. So sparkles spray out, hitting those 2 creatures in front of Valor and Pip, and they both make con saves. Okay. Here we go. 2 con saves. Boom and boom. So 1 succeeds, 1 fails. As the sparkling light cascades out, the one that failed will take 25 points of radiant damage, and the other one will take 12. burning away the brambles with the sparkling light, taking us to Pip.
There's really not a lot of space on here.
No, it is real tight. And you can move through an ally space, but it's difficult terrain, so keep that in mind.
Yes. Yeah. I can't see if there's any free space next to the brambles at all.
Nope. They are basically pressing out of the thicket into your space, looking very threatening.
Okay. How flammable do they look? I guess. Do I want to?
You can make a. You make a, I would say, perception or an arcana check if you want, real quick.
Oh, do a quick perception.
Okay.
12.
You have no idea.
Okay, well that's fine. Oh my god, I can't do anything. I can't do anything here without also hurting ourselves. And what do I do when I can't do anything? I mean, this one that Kadam has blighted is like basically like a third ashed, right?
It seems that way.
It seems that way.
Okay. I'm just going to hit it with the full Hellfire round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and it makes a dex save, right? And go ahead
Yes,
and
a dex save.
Roll that damage. I will need you to split up fire damage and piercing damage.
Yeah, 3d10.
Okay, definitely fails.
Okay. 3d10 and then 3d6.
That was 3 8s.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
The D10 are is the piercing?
Yes, and
Okay.
the d6 is the fire.
All right, so explodes outwards, cresting into this mound. Are you shooting the one that's in front of Valor or Kadam? Or you're shooting the one that Kadam hit, right? Yeah. Blasting into it. So the shrapnel from the gun seems to tear into pieces all of the pieces of briar and wood. Weirdly, the fire just glides over the top of it, and you see, like, as the fire glides over the top of it, like, the sap-like blood bubbles up to the surface and just kind of sizzles and boils away, but nothing alights or catches a flame. It seems to be immune to fire.
Immune. Okay.
Yeah, but it
The
still
direction I was
takes
expecting.
24 points of piercing as it failed its dex save. Okay.
Is there space in that little bit right ahead into the on
Right
the other
here?
side of Valor? On the other side of Valor. Oh yeah, up there.
You could go up there. I would say you could squeeze in next to Valor too.
Okay.
Either
Just
way,
like
you
it.
will take attacks of opportunity unless you have a, way of negating that.
Yeah, I mean, I can disengage. I can bonus action disengage.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you can go ahead and move yourself if you want to disengage quickly and tuck yourself into that one of those spaces, either one.
Oh.
Okay, so darting away and pressing yourself into there, you see these mounds starting to press into this space, taking us to Calliope, unless you have anything else, Pip.
No, that's it.
All right, Calliope.
Seeing that space is newly unoccupied,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, excuse me, Kadam, and just kind of like have, hey, duck, and just like, yeah, give it like a little hop, like awkward,
Okay.
like airplane shuffle,
Mm-hmm.
over down here.
Okay.
Ooh, there's so much space.
So
Here, up where I was. And I'm like, hey, Valor, I think we got something. Need some help?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, grab hold my lance.
As she pulls your lance.
And like this kind of like electricity goes down it. And she just kind of like shocks her.
Okay.
And time slows down for Valor relatively. This is a haste spell.
Oh, okay. So, awesome. So she gets now 4 attacks or 3 attacks.
You only get 1 extra attack.
Okay, so
haste.
3 attacks.
Just like this.
And I think her AC goes
AC
up.
bumps 2.
Yeah, and advantage on Dex saving throws.
Very cool.
She can also like disengage or something unless if she wants to not attack.
Okay, great.
And her speed's helpful here. And then I will bonus action be like, Big Dummy, get this one. And command Big Dummy to take a swing
Cool.
on, or just like open up and just like let out a little blast.
Okay.
Let me see if I've updated this. This is +9 to hit. Yeah. Oh, that's a crit. 10 damage.
Hell yeah. So I'm just assuming you're doing the one that Kadam hit.
Yeah.
As it blasts more brambles out of the way, but it's still continuing to form and press outwards. Okay. Anything else for you, Calliope?
That's it.
They all get to go now. Let's do this one by one, shall we? Let's start with the one that'll go for Valor. The Valor swung at. It lunges forward and reaches out with these tendrils and tries to slam into her and envelop her in these tendrils.
I
it's gonna
will-
make 2 attacks.
Whatcomacallit?
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage. I'm gonna save that for Kadam actually. Never mind.
Okay, so this is on Valor. 21 to hit.
Yep.
Oh.
No. Parry.
Parry, okay. Parries it out of the way. The next one comes in with a crit, the natural 20.
Okay.
And
I will cancel that.
okay, so how does that? Do I have to re-roll or it's just?
It's a hit, not
It's a
crit.
hit, but not a crit. Okay, in that case, Valor only takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage instead of 25. So
God bless you, Eric.
slams into Valor, and let me see here. Valor is not grappled. Valor is able to push it off as it's trying to wrap Valor up. The other one is kind of behind this little bramble that pokes out, so the only target it has access to, unfortunately, is Valor. So it's going to go for Valor. I will give Valor 3/4 cover, so +5, because it's a tight space. So as the kind of thick, bony white vines and brambles try to reach like around the corner of this bramble kind of wall, they snake out and whip towards Valor, trying to envelop her. And here we go. 2 more attacks. No, 16 and a natural 1. So they both just like tearing and ripping, trying to grab onto her, but they can't reach. The other one is going to go for Kadam.
And this will give disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay, it presses out towards you, Kadam. 22 to hit.
With disadvantage.
With
That
disadvantage.
hits.
Wild.
Okay, you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And the other one comes in for a 16 to hit.
No.
Okay, so misses. Again, you feel the thick brambles trying to wrap you up and envelop you, and you can even see that sort of like where the majority of the mass of this thing is starting to peel open. And inside, you see what look to be like broken and splintered bones, not calcified bodies, but just bones that are just like inside this thing. That's what they do. We're at exactly 9 o'clock as we finish one round
What
of
if we
combat.
kept playing though?
Taking us to the top of the round. It's gonna go too long if we keep playing, unfortunately. But we will end there as you all are being surrounded by these mounds of writhing bramble that are trying to engulf you. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week as our crew continue to bounce around Avernus.
Did we want to make the announcement that we didn't make 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, actually, yeah, we should have maybe... we could have started at the top of the show, but that's fine. Claire and I are going to be traveling to Seattle at the end of the month to go to Emerald City Comic-Con. If anybody who watches this happens to be there and wants to meet up, we would love to meet up.
You can message us on Instagram. Let's say that.
Yeah, message us on Instagram. That would be the spot to do it. Our Instagram, I don't have the link ready to post.
Reckless.
But yeah.
I can put that in the chat.
Yeah. We're just going for fun. We're not like doing anything major there, but we're gonna be there. So if you happen to be in Seattle and want to meet us in person, swing on by and come say hi. I think that was the only announcement for now. Unless Olive, it looked like you had something or no? Okay, cool. All right, well, with that, we will see you all next week for more Avernus.
I'm glad we got a fight. I know.
Me too.
I wanted to fight the
Yeah.
but
All
she was
right.
too nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.